Hey, it's Dan from The Plague here, and welcome to another album review. This week I'm going to be talking about the debut album from the band Starlight Ritual called Sealed in Starlight. For a little background, this band is from Montreal, Canada, and they formed in 2014. They've only released two EPs so far. One was released in 2015 and one was released in 2016. And that one is actually the Age of the Universe EP, which is my first introduction to this band. Um, they play a traditional brand of heavy metal that is very much in line with a lot of the other traditional heavy metal bands that are coming out in recent years, but they definitely have created their own style within that genre. So I'm really pleased with the results that they've achieved with their debut album. Let me start by just talking about some of the songs on this album. The album opens with a very grandiose kind of like intro track, much in the vein of The Hellion by Judas Priest. And that leads into a pretty, energetic up-tempo rocker called Marauders that has a very new wave of British heavy metal flair to it. From there, they go into the song One for the Road, which has a very classic Rainbow Dio-esque vibe to it. And actually, the verses remind me quite a bit of the song Long Live Rock and Roll. It's got a similar sort of vibe to it. One of the most notable songs on the album is actually the title track, Sealed in Starlight. It's a very lengthy, very epic, pretty slow, heavy song that it goes through. It's a very deliberate progression. And then at the end, you get to the point where the song could just end, but it actually just kicks up into a higher tempo and to finish out the song. And it's really effective. Definitely a highlight of the album and very well placed right in the middle as well. Another great song on this album is Lunar Rotation, which made an appearance on the Age of the Universe EP as well. And the version here, I think, is actually a little bit better. The chorus, the vocal line on the chorus is a little bit more well-defined and memorable. But that song, along with a couple of the other ones on here, have a really unique kind of swing to them that you don't often get in a lot of heavy metal. And it's something that was more predominant in the new wave of British heavy metal back in the day, rather than a lot of the current bands that are looking back to that era. So it's kind of cool to hear that. So Starlight Ritual is a 5-piece, and they have two guitarists, but they don't bludgeon you over the head with that fact. It's done a little bit more subtly, and it's still very effective, though. And especially the song "The Riddle of Steel," I found to be just very well composed all around. So yeah, getting a band that utilizes two guitarists in an effective, fairly innovative way, I think, is a really nice change of pace. And rounding out the album is the song "The Righteous Ones," which is a real, just total headbanger. It's from start to end. It's a really good way to close out an album. The vocals in this album are actually quite good and have a pretty unique character to them. They're melodic, but also very powerful and have just enough of an edge to them to really keep pace with the music. I also quite like the production on this album. It's got a good full sound to it, and it's not it doesn't sound particularly modern, but it also doesn't sound like a band that's trying to sound too retro. It's just a very good, clean production. And the song order too is just very well thought out. It just starts and ends with very strong tracks. It's got that great intro. It's got the really epic, 8+ minute song right in the middle. It's always nice to hear. You can tell when a band has really, put some effort into thinking out the track listing. The album art on this is somewhat minimal, but it's I don't know. I found it to be very cool. It's got a little bit of that 70s fantasy book cover feel to it, and combined with the band's logo, which I think is also pretty unique. I don't know. It makes for a good overall companion to the music, as well as I think it'll make a great T-shirt design. So yeah, just to wrap it up, I mean, there's been so many traditional heavy metal bands coming out in recent years, and some are better than others, but Starlight Ritual is definitely one of the ones that I've been waiting for 5+ years, since that last tape came out, to hear more from them. And I was really excited when this album finally came out and totally lived up to the expectations set by the earlier EPs. I think if you've heard those, or you're just a fan of like, Dio, Rainbow, any classic heavy metal, new wave British heavy metal material, or any of the current crop of traditional heavy metal bands, you'll definitely want to check out Starlight Ritual, and I think you'll be impressed. I really hope that they can start touring as things pick up here in the next year or two, because I would love to see this stuff, see how it comes across live. But anyways, that is it for now. Until next time, if you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And any comments you have about this, if you've heard the album, what you think of it, how you think it compares to the tapes, any other exciting bands coming out. It seems like Canada's just got all kinds of great bands coming out these days. So if there's any other bands that you know of that I might want to check out, yeah, definitely leave some comments. And until next time, take it easy and stay metal.